All right, we're live, Matt.
Welcome to the SCIF. This is Matt. That's Stu. We are the Green Beret Life. You can get a hold of us at TheGreenBeretLife. What is it? What's our email? So I don't screw this up, because we've jointly, as teamwork, screwed up the email before. TheGreenBeretLife at
For an extended period.
gmail.com. So if you need to get a hold of us, you can get a hold of us there. We try to respond to everything. Sometimes it takes us a little while, but we do. Thank you for joining us. We got a busy show tonight. As you know, Trump has been winning. He's winning so much. Stu, are you getting sick of it yet? Because it's almost...
I thought I would, but no, I'm good with it.
No.
Like you and I were talking earlier, it's hilarious because he's, like we said, he's basically flooding the zone, and the liberals, they don't have time to get completely bent out of shape about something, because that's already been resolved and he's moved on to the next thing. I was telling you about, I'll see something about, oh, well, this tariff on Mexico is going to cause your avocados to, nope, that's been resolved. Oh, yeah. Canada and the fuel from Canada, or the energy from Canada, nope, that's been resolved. Colombia, your coffee, nope, that's been resolved. It just, about the time they start to get spun up, they get all their mailers out to everybody, start getting their pitchforks and their poster board signs made. That was yesterday. That's been resolved. We moved on from that. It's hysterical.
We were discussing before what we think his ultimate plan, and how he's going to deal with China, and how he's going to deal with the European Union, and all of this is going to play out. We're going to discuss that a little bit later. But what else do we have on the docket that we're going to talk about? And what should we talk about on YouTube? Because as we know, YouTube sucks. It's Google, and it sucks. Yeah. So we want to pull everybody we have over here at YouTube over to Rumble. So if you haven't, we have the link below, don't we, Stu?
Yes.
Yeah. So please join us over at Rumble if you haven't. Okay. And let's build Rumble up as big as YouTube, if not bigger, right? Because YouTube doesn't want us. They don't value us here. They don't try. If you're not pushing their leftist narrative that Google wants you to push, they're going to punish you. So please join us at Rumble if you already haven't. And Stu, what do we have on the docket? I know I talked over you there a little bit.
Well, we've got a couple of Trump's picks. Tulsi and RFK looks like they've cleared their Senate subcommittee, and they're going to be going to a vote of the full Senate. Marco Rubio made it through last week, so he's in position.
He's already been traveling abroad, making deals happen.
Yep. We brought this up before in conjunction with another story, but we're going to bring it up again. It's the USAID program, and it looks like they're either looking at restructuring it or eliminating it completely. We're going to talk about some of the wonderful programs that this government entity has been funding.
Our listeners are well versed in this, because we've talked about USAID on multiple occasions with different subjects. And that's not a subject we're going to talk about on YouTube, but we're going to talk about that on Rumble. And you guys probably are already ahead of us on this. So go ahead, Stu.
And last week we had talked about basically the buyout for some of these federal workers, and it looks like some of them are already taking him up on the opportunity. And we've got just a few more random stories that we'll bring up if we have time.
Okay.
But actually, you know what? For YouTube, there's one here. I didn't even know this was happening until I came across this story, and I really liked it because it shows a lot. Because let me see, I lost my screen share here. Because as a public figure, it is a huge hurdle to overcome to get past the initial stages of a defamation lawsuit. But Trump was just handed a major win against the Pulitzer Prize Board
Oh,
in
you
a
knew this was
defamation
happening.
lawsuit.
This has been going on for like 3 years where he went after them.
Yeah, I completely missed. I guess it's just been kind of sitting on the back burner, but he
Yeah.
has actually gotten it's made it through. So they're moving on to discovery, the
Too much
discovery
winning.
phase. What's that?
Too much winning. Too much. We're going to say,
And
sir, enough winning. He's going to say, no, more winning.
But basically what this means is when they move forward to the discovery phase, that means that now Trump and his legal team can subpoena and get all of their email communications. And this is all going to all of these journalists that ran these bullshit stories about Russia collusion. Now we're going to get the behind the scenes emails that were going on back and forth.
Well,
So
that could possibly,
beautiful.
you know, you just brought up something there, Stu, that could possibly blow this all up, because if you pull if you get those emails and you start seeing that they were intentionally pushing false stories,
Yep.
that just escalates it to the next level. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Oh, hey, Freedom US said that Pam Bondi was confirmed as the AG tonight.
That's the message I got earlier, and I meant to shout that out, but good catch, Freedom.
Yeah, thank you. I missed that in my day. I didn't see that, but
we were looking for, that was the message from Chris earlier on. It was Pam Bondi. Yeah.
Okay, not Tulsi.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is going to be, I mean, this could be huge because it's going to be all the emails from the Pulitzer Prize board to these journalists, and who knows what they're going to be saying. You know, who knows what we're going to get out of this. But just the fact that Trump was able to get to the discovery phase is absolutely massive. It just doesn't happen as a public figure like he is. The hurdle that you have to overcome, you have to be able to show that there was negligence and that they were saying things that they knew to be false. So basically they've already been able to prove to a judge that what they were saying they knew was false, and they were doing it intentionally to defame him. And that just getting there is absolutely amazing. And I can't wait to see what all comes out of this. It's going to be, I mean, it'll probably be 10 years from now, but it would be beautiful if they got some of these and they started leaking emails and stuff, you know.
Yeah.
We'll just give them to the FBI and then they'll leak, right? Isn't that what the FBI does?
Well, the FBI is getting ready to be gutted, is what's going to happen here. And they're shitting their pants because as soon as Cash gets in there, he's going to fix that whole sore of an agency.
Did Cash get confirmed, or is he still going through his hearings?
I believe I think him and Tulsi, Tulsi and RFK Jr. Cash, I don't know, to be honest with you. Freedom might know. But I don't think Cash has been approved just yet from subcommittee. Maybe he has. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not seeing anything about him being confirmed. He's still in there, or he's still in the process. Oh, I love ABC's headline: Kash Patel, Trump's pick for FBI director, made at least $2.6 million from consulting.
Good for him.
Okay, and
good for him. Yeah.
How much did Hillary get from giving speeches at Goldman Sachs running up to her election?
Or running a bogus charity based through Haiti.
Yeah,
you can see how they've helped Haiti, right? Yeah.
And it was funny how as soon as she lost the election, all of the donations to the Clinton Foundation just dried up and went away. No one was really concerned because they weren't able to buy access through her foundation anymore.
The Clinton Global Initiative. Yeah.
That's it. That's what it was. And somehow Chelsea, whatever was on the board of directors for it, you know,
Yeah,
making a couple of $1 million
while
a
working
year.
for NBC too.
Yeah.
You know,
She was only making a couple of $1 million a year on her parents', you know,
oh,
foundation that was getting
yeah.
funding from all over the world. Yeah, nothing to see here, right?
Isn't it funny? The Bush daughters and the Clinton daughter both worked for NBC. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, I can see it.
Uniparty, yeah, Uniparty. Did you see? We didn't talk about this before, but did you see that they kept the identity of one of the pilots of the helicopter in the crash secret so they could scrub her social media accounts allegedly, right? And it turns out that allegedly she was a Biden aide and now a helicopter pilot.
Well, here's I saw the thread where you and Chris were talking about, and I did some digging, and here's what I found out. So she was a former aide. She was a guard or reserve pilot. North Carolina Air National Guard. So she was a guard pilot, and the aide thing that she was what they call a military social aide. And the social aides, of whom there are 40 to 45 at a time, are uniformed officers of the rank of first lieutenant, junior grade up to major or lieutenant commander, and have a purely social role taking care of visitors to events held at the White House. So it looks like it was kind of a military type thing. She wasn't an aide, as in it's like she's working for the campaign.
Okay, but here's my response to that. Why is she the only one that they delayed announcing who she was while they scrubbed her social media allegedly?
Yeah, no,
we're going to get answers to this, folks.
I was just saying what I had found about her being an aide. It looks like it wasn't something like she was working for the White House, as she was just kind of almost like a pomp and circumstance type thing. Hey, we need.
There are so many things about this crash that don't make sense. The helicopter, from what I understand, the plane would have had a hard time seeing the helicopter because it was above it, right? And they were in close proximity, right? But the plane is the only thing that tried to make a last-minute evasive maneuver, whereas it looked like the helicopter flew directly into the plane, and the helicopter for sure should have seen that plane, right? And it flew directly into it. Now, we know they have the technology to fly helicopters. I'm not saying anything here, folks, but we know that they have that technology, and that's all over YouTube. You can go and look at YouTube, right? That they can fly helicopters Blackhawks remotely. It just makes you wonder what the hell was going on in that helicopter. It was too high for where it was supposed to be.
Yeah, I think they had a 200-foot ceiling, and they were at like over 350 feet.
Yeah, and it flew directly into the plane. It swerved to the left, from what I'm being told now. You know how the internet is. But
I haven't seen any of that. I did see where it had come out that the tower was supposed to have like up to 30 or something controllers. They had like 19. And
only one was talking to planes.
Yeah, well, there was only one guy doing planes and helicopters. And they were, in addition to the plane that was landing, there was another plane in the area. So when they communicated to the helicopter about, hey, there's a plane XYZ, part of the theory is they were looking at plane X and not plane Y, and didn't see
there's no way they couldn't have seen this. There's no way they couldn't have seen this. They're talking about the plane that was way above. They're saying they were looking at that. But even if they were looking at that, they would have seen the one that was closer to them coming right at them. You know what I mean?
I don't know.
And it took no evasive maneuvers.
Yeah.
Which is just, And then on top, we find out that we've been talking about this for years. The Obama administration was allegedly, turning away qualified candidates in order to get people with mental disabilities, obviously ethnic minorities over everything else, all sorts of stuff, instead of people that were qualified or were better at doing. In fact, I even heard reports saying that it was a benefit if you did poorer on the tests, because that made you score higher. I'm not kidding. We know that they've been doing this to every single federal agency out there, and that's why they were trying. You've heard us talk about forcing women into combat roles in the military and what they've done to the standards there. They have done this throughout the federal agencies, and they've done it into the military. This is how they create the deep state. This is how they do it. The administrative deep state.
One of the reports I heard was there actually, now that this has come out, I think there's a group actually putting together a lawsuit, because there are individuals. There was one guy in particular that what they made a point of mentioning, that scored 100% on the test for the air traffic control and was still denied and not given a job. And it's like, because he was traditionally Caucasian, right? That's traditionally Caucasian.
Yeah.
From the Caucasus region.
Well, yeah. Well, what's funny is I don't think it's just Caucasians they were trying to keep out. I think it was the same thing that they've been doing. Asians, Caucasians, you name it. They don't look at us as fellow Americans and base things on merit, which is the way things should be. Your skin color should not matter. If the person happens to be pink and from Timbuktu, but they're the best at doing this, and they score that's the person you want flying the plane or operating the color, race, sexual identity. None of this shit should freaking matter. What should matter is the best people are put there. They're there on merit. People when you're applying for the best, do the best.
I'm a firm believer, if you're applying for a job, especially federal, but even, if it was kind of, in the private sector. Now, I know you can't really use your social security number, although, with you and I being prior military, my social security number has been around the world about 13 bajillion times. But, you should get some sort of ID number that is on your resume. There's no name. There's no picture. There's no nothing. It's nothing but here are your stats. Here's where you went to school. Here's what you majored in. Here's where you've worked. Here are your qualifications. That's it. No name, no picture, no nothing. So if it's,
no gender,
if it's a crippled African American paraplegic with rickets that gets the thing, okay, fine. They were best qualified, but they should get qualified because of their ability, not because of their disability.
Correct. Yeah, I like that idea. So basically you're a number without any distinguishing characteristics, including gender.
Yeah, no gender, because you can tell a lot by a name. A traditional, Caucasian name is different from an Indian name, is different from a Mexican name is different from an African American. You can infer a lot from a name.
Applicant 143BR. Here's their background and history. Boom, 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 boom. Everything that they've done. Boom. Here's what they scored on the aptitude test for air traffic control. Boom. Or pilot. Boom. Here is what they did in the physical side. Boom. Right? Boom, 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 boom. Okay. This is the guy or the gal or whatever this is right here that we want. Boom. Go into the we want this person column. Right? They've shown a high aptitude for air traffic control and dealing with multiple issues at once, and that's what we want, right? But
I don't get where they're like,
it's intentional destruction. It's part of what makes everything make sense is to understand that the people behind all of this are there to destroy. Intentional destruction. That's why when people say, I just don't understand why we would do something that would intentionally hurt the economy of our country. intentional destruction. It makes all sense. You know, it makes perfect sense. And to say, oh, these are just dimwits and they're stupid, these people that are doing this, right? No. They're very smart and they're cunning.
We've got a viewer on YouTube. He's like, just say you're Spanish from Spain and pick up an East LA accent. Then you can say you're non-binary and bisexual.
If you were Spanish from Spain, you couldn't call yourself Latin. If you're Italian, you can't call yourself Latin. That's not by the government definition of what Latino is.
That's true. That's true.
If you're Spanish from Spain, you are Caucasian. That's what it is. This is so stupid. This whole thing, this identity politics bullshit is so stupid, and I think most of us in America here have had enough. And
none of the identity and identity politics is used to identify anyone. It's used to separate someone. It's used 100%. You go over here in this box, you go over there in that box, and we're going to give these people benefits over you just because of reasons, But
just because you know why? Because fuck you. That's why. That's really it.
You're not wrong. Well, hey, we've got a couple of users. We've got Christopher and Jimmy over on YouTube. Guys, we're about to move over to Rumble. Down in the description below is a link to the Rumble channel. If you want to continue on with us, we've got about another 40 minutes of show that we're going to do. Please come over to Rumble and give us a follow. We come on every Tuesday at 9 o'clock. But we'd like to normally shut off of YouTube because we can talk a little more freely and be a little more critical on Rumble than we can on YouTube.
Stu's being very generous to YouTube. YouTube sucks. Google sucks, and they keep striking us. We've gotten so many strikes over the years from this outfit for just simply speaking the truth. So or just going away from the narrative. Put it that way. If you can't mention certain pharmaceuticals like ivermectin or hydrochloroquine or something like that without getting a strike, which we've been struck before on this. It's insane. You can't speak freely on YouTube. And they also play with our subscriber list, all sorts of stuff. So thank you for joining us on YouTube. Please come and join us at Rumble. We need all of the thoughtful, intelligent listeners and participants, and we like you guys to be a participant, by the way, that we can take, because we need to try to build up Rumble to where it's as big as YouTube. Maybe that's a lofty goal, but we need to be able to support outlets that support pretty much free speech, right? And Google and YouTube do not, unfortunately. They're excellent platforms, but as far as how they operate and these types of things, but why would we accept, and they have no right to be able, people say, oh, they're a private corporation. Well, they're not. They take money from the federal government. They have to allow us to speak freely here. So, but they don't, and they get away with it. I think those days are coming to an end, but we need to make them pay for this. So they demonetize channels just because they don't follow the narrative they like. If you make a channel on YouTube where you're talking about, trying on new dresses or, makeup tutorials or, just think of any bullshit out there that you'll get all the help from YouTube in the world you want. But if you have a channel that talks about firearms, if you have a channel that talks about politics that don't go with the preferred narrative of Google, you're going to get hammered. Even fishing channels are getting hammered on YouTube and being demonetized and everything else.
Matt, are you saying we need to start a channel trying on dresses and doing makeup? Is that
well,
what
we
you
might? We might, if we stick on YouTube, that's what we might as well do. You know what I mean?
All right. Well, we're gonna move off of YouTube here now. So, Chris, you and Jimmy, if you're still on, come
I
over
hope you
there.
guys are. I hope you guys come
We'll
over to
finish up
Rumble.
the show, and
Yep.
we'll see you